So this is the single needle machine. I spend more time on this machine than any other. Every garment I make uses this machine at least once. It is true that I am a very good sewer, but a lot of why I can sew so fast is because I have awesome pieces of equipment like this. So the first wonderful thing about this machine, on a domestic machine, you constantly have to spend all day back here lifting and lowering the press foot, right? This machine has a lever just down there. You can't see it right now. I'll show you later. But I'm going to use my knee, see, no hands, to lift and lower the presser foot. So there you go. Save 20 minutes a day right there. The next great thing about this machine, the best thing, is every time I start a seam, it back tacks for me. I have a back tack lever over here, but it's real dusty because I never touch it. So then I might sew along. Occasionally there are times, whatever reason, where I might want to go back over something. But again, I don't need to reach over here because I got a doodad right here that allows me to go back mid-seam, which is beautiful. And the other thing I love here is every time you stop sewing, your needle is always in. Doesn't matter what you're doing, the computer always makes sure that needle stops down. So if you ever need to pivot for any reason, you don't have to fuss with the hand needle. And of course, if you're rearranging things mid-seam, everything stays where it should go. So then I'm going to sew. When I get to the end of my seam, and I'll show you this in a minute, the pedal down there is much larger, so I'm going to put my heel down, and it's going to back tack for me. Not only that, it cut my threads too. Oh. So this never gets old. Now, I hope you can see here, there are two little tails that are left over. If I was doing any kind of top stitching where I needed the top and the bottom to both look good, I would have to go in and clip those. But 99% of the time, who cares? Just keep sewing, get on to the next thing. So that's pretty wonderful. As you can tell by the color of the table that this machine is in, this is really old, probably from the 70s. But these machines are built to last and to sew all day, every day. The main housing of the machine that contains all the moving parts is cast iron, so it's very heavy. Of course, contributes to this being a very heavy-duty machine. Up here you can see this little thing is the control panel for all of the different automatic functions. So I can control my back tack, and I can count stitches and use a variety of different functions. Underneath here, let's see what's happening. Under here we can see all the moving parts of the machine and the oil pan. You can see it dripping a little bit there. So it's pretty serious business. That's why this machine can sew all day, every day for 4 decades and still be in perfect working order. This part here, you can see that little hook. That's the hook that grabs the top thread and hooks it around the bobbin thread. That's the only part I've ever had to replace in this machine in 10 years. And it tells you how finely tuned these machines are. Because this is stainless steel, right? And the only thing it ever touches is thread. But if it wears down 1/100th of a millimeter, the whole machine goes kerflooey and it doesn't work anymore. It's really neat. This little thing here is a pneumatic sucker. So at the end of my seam, when I put my heel down on the pedal, this is what sucks the thread out so that it's in the correct position to be sliced by the knife, which is just up there under that plate. So down here you can see that's the lever that my knee hits to get the presser foot to raise. So I can adjust the angle of it here so that it's, you know, right ergonomically for my body. But once every 6 months I change it just because I'm using my hips slightly differently. Down there is the pedal. So you can see how much larger this is than a domestic pedal. So, you know, toes down to make it go in the front, heel down in the back. You can see it's all worn out from me stomping. Down here we have the 2 motors. So the top motor is the motor that actually makes the machine go. You can see the timing belt there. And then on the bottom, this is the computer that controls all of the special automatic functions of the machine. So this one here controls the sensitivity of the pedal. So how hard do I have to push to, you know, get it to go or get it to stop? This is the difference between an injury and not an injury. Really, really important setting. And then this just controls the sensitivity of the pedal vis-a-vis speed. So how fast is it going to go for X amount of pressure? Right? And then we have a couple more fine settings here for the knife. Obviously sewing fast, sewing slow. This is presser foot height relative to, presser foot pressure relative to feed dogs can be controlled there. I'm a really good sewer, but I also make a lot of mistakes, which is why my seam ripper is always attached to my machine right here, so I can grab it easily anytime I need it. So, nothing's perfect, of course. This machine is not perfect. The one shortcoming that domestic machines or that industrial machines have is there's no light On your domestic machine, you have a light that shines right in your needle, right? I don't have that. So 10 years ago when I got this machine, I had this as a light, and then it broke. And then, you know, you're in the middle of sewing something, you don't want to quit. So I just found this light, and I've probably had this set up for about 6 years now. And it's really ridiculous looking, but it works. So there you have it. That is the single needle automatic machine.